think Lindsay might have one I could use. I should do that actually. I should go to her and say, listen, you got that TV, how about doing it with a swap for the fucking really nice 40-inch or 42-inch Panasonic I gave you, or the really beautiful fridge freezer I gave you, the lovely wardrobe I gave you, the food presser I gave you, the fucking barbecues I've given you, the fire pit and all the right really nice wood. Yeah. Oh, weird, isn't it? How women can change. You know, you look at as recently as my birthday, the most heartfelt, warm, loving birthday card you could have. Does make you wonder why some people just cannot sit down and say there's a problem and talk to you about it, and ask you if there's any chance you can change. They've just, laid there in bed, thought about it, overthought about it, and ruined 2 lives in the process. Well, my life hasn't been ruined; it's set me back quite a bit. But you have to feel sorry for her because, her life is going to be in tatters now without someone like me. She'll always be looking back and thinking, wow, when I first met that guy, he was amazing. I didn't like what he'd let himself become. But, if he was like it once, there's really every single chance, 99%, that he could become that person again. And there were practical reasons. There was many, many reasons, very obvious, very, very obvious, of why, and could be fixed. So Lindsay, you really need to stop overthinking. You need to find the ability to be able to talk to people without worrying about upsetting them. Because what generally happens, if you do that, it builds up. And when you do finally broach the subject, wow, it is upsetting. You must learn to do it. You're going to upset someone in the end anyway, so you might as well do it earlier and a very smaller, lesser way. Definitely. And don't be upset if somebody else points something out to you, a fault of you. Take it on board. You catastrophize that whole thing. Wow, you shouted at me in front of all the neighbours. Your neighbours were in the house, Lynn. I didn't shout at you. I spoke to you. And I'd mentioned it a few times before and just said, oh God, why do you do that? Why do you do that? And basically that's what I'd done, but I had told you that it had started to get me down because it was all the time. And it really did make me feel a little bit, that my opinion about anything wasn't worth a jot, And basically, I would just say something. It might be a fantasy or whatever, or just, one I do remember in particular. I can't remember that time that, in the garden, but it was we was walking around Park Lane Recreation Ground, and I said, you know what? It'd be lovely if this was like 4 times the size with a nice wooded area. Yeah, but there'd be too many people there then. And that's what it was like. Whatever I said, if I mentioned something about a person that I knew, you would always try to explain why they may be like it. And all you needed to say was, really? Most of the time it didn't need an answer. It was just a statement from me. But no, you always had to try and reason. So it made me seem that I was unintelligent because I didn't know, or you were contradicting me and telling me I was wrong. Everything about it. And whatever I told you, you never believed. The whole thing with the loft, I told you I could do that. On and on and on. And you questioned. I need to get somebody else in. Just the garden, the shed. Fitting the gas cooker. There you go, fitting the gas cooker. How long did that take me? Did I do it well? Yes. Could I have done it better? Only by chasing the cable into the wall. But it's good, it works, it's safe. Brilliant. I've done it for you, not a problem. So many stuff I did and could have done for you, but you questioned it. You always questioned it, and it made me feel devalued. And I really don't know why I bothered. I really don't know why I bothered. You had someone there who could do so much, practically, for you around the house. But no, you never believed it. You always, and in the end I gave up. I thought, yeah, if you want to get someone else in, do it. It was as if that my whole life, all the experience that I'd had, working on building sites, in construction, doing so much DIY in my own house, learned by my mistakes, 40 years ago. I bought my first house when I was 20. I knocked walls down, I blocked windows up, I cut gas pipes I shouldn't have done. I did all moved all the central heating. Yeah, I did the thing where I put a nail through a water pipe, had to stand there with my thumb over it to stop the water, but I fixed it. That was the thing, I learned how to fix it. I hung doors, I just did so much, and everywhere I went was always like it. And so when I just said to you, and I didn't shout at you, I didn't say it horribly, I said it, and that was it. But oh my God, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's, you think everyone's going to be as upset as you got. They don't, Lynn. You are extraordinary like that. The song and dance you made because I spoke to Julia in the park. You weren't there. We stopped. We chatted. I didn't divulge secrets about us. Nothing. But you did not let that go. You were like a dog with a bone. I apologised, and in the end I just gave up, because what is the point of carrying on apologising? Somebody blatantly just does not believe you, and they're not going to. So what is the point? But no, you went on and fucking on about it, just really, really unreasonably. You need to get a grip on that. You really do. That whole thing, I don't want my life discussed with anybody else. I didn't discuss your fucking life. I just discussed general things. We talked about Julia's mother, my mother. We talked about you, about us drinking, where we went out to. And yeah, and I did mention that, we go out when we can. I've got a few friends I go to. Doesn't Lizzie have friends? Well, no, she doesn't have a lot of close friends, but she's got a big family and she uses that, Oh, maybe I should ask her out for a drink. Yeah, by all means do. She would possibly enjoy that, And that was it. That was it, Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And thinking of it, there's those occasions when we were on holiday. I what do they call it? Freight you. I got hold of your Facebook and I put something on there. We were both slightly pissed. Yeah. We got back to our room. Nothing had been said, and then you launched into me. But it wasn't just that. It was everything. You called me a big head or show off. Incredible. I was just taken aback. Yeah, you did it several other times where you would just launch into me. Generally when you'd had a few beers and you were probably buoyed by it and felt a little bit brave. But the problem was you got it all out of perspective. You really did. And it's just, I found it quite funny actually. But yeah, and the other time is, when I was going to go away to the blues with Myth. I didn't say I was going to take the caravan, but you just thought that was so awful. And you basically said, you're not taking it. Fuck off. It was halfies. Well, it wasn't even that. It was 1/3, 2/3, okay? And I was quite happy to buy that. I was going to buy that myself. But no, and get this straight, okay? You did insist on putting in. You wanted to put in, okay? And that was that, okay? There was none of me persuading you to do it at all. I didn't need you to. And there was a big part of me that didn't want to, but I just thought, yeah, wow, What a lovely, lovely gesture. Let's do that. And to me, that made you feel like, yeah, I really want to be part of you, Steve. You bought into it, okay? But my God, the shit you gave me about it. And I'd actually said to you, I thought about it. I didn't suggest it, but we're not doing it. We're going camping. But no, you had to go on and fucking on about it. And it was not let up even after it. It just went on, Lynn. You know, then one day you just stormed. I remember sat there at the table. You were quite angry. Can I have my £600 back, please? I'd already offered to give it back to you a couple of times. All you had to do was just come in nicely, but I don't know what was going in your head. But you launched. Yeah, no problem. I give it back to you straight away. It wasn't a problem at all. No, right, I'm on a roll now. I'm on a roll. Let's think of the other things. Yes. Moving in together. And according to you, that was me railroading you into it. I mentioned it. You agreed. Yeah, it would be lovely, lovely, lovely. And then you actually said, well, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. So I gave my notice on the flat. Yeah, lovely, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. This was, so 1st of November, I was moving in with you. Shit me, the day before, what would that have been, the 30th of October? Steve, I don't think I can really do this. Fucking hell! I've given up my flat. I've had to go back there and say, you can't get me out. Fuck you. Honestly, fuck you. And you know what? You asked me, you expected me to be angry with you. But here's that whole thing. The whole Francis thing has come back. I was just so enamoured with you, so loved what we had and what I thought we was going to have. I was a bit too easy to forgive you. Okay? I shouldn't have done. What you did then was shitty, was fucking horrible. It was on that day. I had to go back. So yes, I should have been angry. And I feel that you're a little bit angry with me, Steve. I feel you wanted me to be fucking angry with you, Lynn. You wanted me to be. But, I'm calm. I thought, well, we'll get there in the end. I think it was a month later, laid in bed. Steve, listen, I love you. And I'm sorry. And I do want you to move in with me, please. Wow, okay. You've thought about it. You thought how bad you were. Right, okay. Let's do this. Let's move in. And I can't remember what the time frame was, but again, just a week before, I can't do this, Steve. Oh, for fuck's sake, man up, Steve. Tell her that it's all going to be okay. Or ask, well, what is the real reason behind this, Lynn? What is the real reason? Then you could have said, well, the fact is, Steve, you left a job where you was earning money, keeping your head above water, point blank. You left and you had no visible means of income. Even though I told you I could give you 3 months in advance and then, just keep paying you after that. No. But I can see that because you saw a man who wasn't really that worried about. And if you ever need to rely on me at any point, not you wanted to, not you needed to, I wasn't that man. You should have said that. You didn't. You just fucking cast me adrift. So I had a week to find a place, okay? Not a long time really to find something decent. Nowhere near to replace Botley. So there was that one. And again, I forgave you. Why? Why? Everything we had was great. We'd spent so much time together. We knew we could live together. We knew we could get on. And we would have had a damn good life, Lynn. We would have had a fucking damn good life. The money we would have had together. It would have given us so much. We carried on. Well, I had the most wonderful Christmas with your family. I will thank you for that enormously. Mum died. Yeah, a couple of weeks after my mum died, you come round. This isn't working, Steve. Mate, it took me 2 minutes just to talk to you, to settle you down, to say, listen, we're good. But what you didn't do, what I realise now, is you didn't bring up the subject which was really playing on your mind. You didn't do it. You were good enough just to turn up on my doorstep and say you wanted to finish with me, which was absolute. This was what, 2 weeks after my mum had died, something like that. So we had the funeral. Then I had to do my training. It took me another month through February to get all my accreditation done. Was looking forward to doing it, but by the time I did my first few surveys, I hadn't had the practice, so it was difficult. And then we had lockdown. I couldn't go out and do these. Your thing was, well, come and live here, because if you go and live in your place, technically, lawfully, we can't see each other. Brilliant. Come for the lockdown. 3 weeks later, when I told you that I'd asked Ray, my daughter, because she could come and use my flat, well, where are you going to stay? Well, I'm here. No, you've got to go back. Why? Well, I only said 3 weeks for the lockdown. I said, no, you said the lockdown is still on. Yeah, well, I only thought it was going to be 3 weeks. So what had changed? What had changed? What really had changed in that time? We were on lockdown. Weird, bizarre, but so again, I didn't kick off. I just come back here. And why? Why would I want to be with someone like you? I'll tell you why. Very much like Francis, very softly spoken. You had this whole background where you grew up and nobody liked you and you were bullied. She had all that, and I felt sorry for you, okay? But you were funny, you were loving, you were caring, and you were very good. You were very good at getting me to do things. So yeah, I mean, that side of things, but Frances was, she went a bit too far trying to make me jealous. Did she have affairs? Maybe. She used to be able to pull my strings to make me very angry. It was a very different time. But I didn't want to be there. I wanted to just forgive you. And despite this rant, I knew that we could make it. And, you've blown that chance. You have actually blown that chance. So we go through all that. Then we go through the whole thing of me just trying these meds. We thought it was going to be marvellous. It wasn't. It actually put me back. So for a month, I struggled. You got on the phone and you said to me, yeah, you were a real misery guts the weekend. I fucking wasn't. I wasn't my old self. But Jesus Christ, you knew exactly why. I had taken these prescription medications for my mind, for my mental health. They were increasing the dopamine. And you knew exactly what I was going through because I didn't hide any of it from you. So to tell me that, how unbelievably cruel and unsympathetic and insensitive of you. Oh, you're very sensitive, Steve. And I think that was the very first time I ever got a little bit angry with you, and I just said, fuck you, and put the phone down. You come round, you told me you love me. You still couldn't, you didn't really apologise for it. You didn't apologise for your actions at all. So that was the beginning, all right? Now, I've spoken before about, I know why you did it, because you saw this man, he wasn't doing anything to get him work. Fine, great, you're absolutely 100% right there. I can't do anything about that. But you never spoke to me about it, you never said that was the main problem. All it was on the last day when you sat there, you said, I can't see it going anywhere. You're not working, la 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 la. Basically telling me, if you were working and I saw you as a safe, secure blind, we could do this. But you didn't. And I was just like, discarded. So if that's your way of getting through life, not being able to look at things and be able to work out a compromise or be able to sit down and say to someone, as you very did with Ben, all the time, you need to get a job. You're controlling, Lynn, and you won't have that, but you are. You like to be in control. It's not control when someone says, let's do this, let's do that. It's sharing. It's always sharing, And I found that out, near the end, but I would have spoke to you about it. I would have done things to have gone. I did compromised so much. You levelled it at me that oh, you just sat and watched telly all the time. I didn't. Whenever I watched telly, you were sat by my side, Lynn. That last Saturday night, I did. And I told you exactly why, because I come home, I come back to you over to your place in the afternoon. Your place was practically a pigsty, Lynn. Washing up all over the side from dinner time, not being touched. Yours, Ben's, I know you had people round. We had dinner and it was still there. And I was not going to do everybody else's washing up. I always got on and done washing up with you, cooking with you, right? My knee was bad. I was not feeling that good. No. I should have told you.